Hey everybody, just wanted to show off a cool little thing I made during a client project recently here. We had a unique request by the design team to make this very custom matrix that shows off like all the features of a sponsorship, and then each column represents a different level and what gets included with that level essentially. And this is a pretty common thing that I see being done on a lot of websites, but this was a very unique design of how to show it off. And so there wasn't really anything out there that existed that would like meet the design requirements, so I had to make something from scratch in order for this to all work properly. Now, I also wanted to make it easy to be able to edit this from the admin area, but I didn't want to go through way too much work of like creating a custom Elementor widget or a custom Gutenberg block or something along those lines. Um, so essentially what I've done here is I've simply made a bunch of HTML code that is partnered with some JavaScript, and the JavaScript should just be left alone for the most part. But what's interesting is that if you understand basic HTML, you can very easily go in here and like make changes to this text to get essentially, well, to change and customize literally anything in the matrix here is what I'm calling it. So what you'll notice here is we've got essentially a custom element of sorts, a custom HTML attribute I created called sponsorship tiers, and then in there is a nested set of tiers. Then we simply have a list with the class of benefits. It has to have the class of benefits. And then that list is essentially what shows up here. So if we add another item to that list, it will add another row to this whole thing. So I'll show that off real quick. So if we wanted to just add a whole nother like advantage, like if we wanted to sell shirts or something, or give away shirts with a sponsorship, we would just copy and paste another row, and you see what's cool about Elementor is that when you update the HTML, it shows it real time on the right. So now what we can do is we could go in here and change what it says there. So if I wanted to say like cool t-shirt or something, now it says cool t-shirt. So that's pretty slick and easy for basically anybody to figure out. Then on each list item, we have a data attribute for levels, and that basically tells the whole thing, this whole kind of self-contained component, if you want to think of it like that. That tells it which of these blocks should be filled in for this list item at the end here. So if we just add, say, like a 4 and then add a comma in between, notice how it fills in level 4 and level 5 for this specific one. And we could do the same thing all the way across 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma, and then like it's just, you know, whatever. And we don't even have to have 3 in there. If we take the 3 out, it'll apply to just those 2, which would be really weird, but you get the idea that it's extremely flexible in that regard. So yeah, just the important thing is that it's number comma number comma number. And then I'm just going to delete this one that I just created. Now let's see how we can edit the different columns. So essentially how this works is we could go in here to tiers here, and we can add or remove any of these tiers, change which levels they're associated with, and then obviously you want to give it a name, and then the price is automatically added too. So if I wanted the price of this first one to just be $100, I could just type in 100, and then you'll see here level 1 is now 100. And so if I switch it back to 500, boom, level 1 is 500. I can even change it from the name level 1 to like, let's, you know, this is a common thing. Oh, this is our basic plan or something, right? You could just make it say basic, and boom, now it says basic up there. So it's extremely flexible if you understand basic HTML. And then obviously if we wanted to add like another tier, we could, or if we wanted to remove a tier, we could remove a tier altogether. And whoops, make sure you only remove the proper HTML. And there you go. Now we only have 4 tiers instead of 5. So pretty cool thing that I made with very minimal JavaScript. You can find the raw code for the JavaScript in my CodePen account as well. So if you go to CodePen and then you're going to want to look for the sponsorship tier matrix on my profile, and my profile is just codepen.io/Rob Ruiz. So here's like I built this thing in CodePen first, and then brought it over into WordPress, and essentially just copied and pasted it into a HTML Elementor element. So that's it. Thanks.